we always want to push for 4 points, for 4 tries and 5 points. We knew that in the back of our minds that was probably what it was going to take, but you know, we're under no illusions. We're up against the top 14 champions, a big heavy pack. You know, there was speculation in the week about whether they'd bring a second team, given they're out the competition, away from home. French teams sometimes, you know, lose focus. But tonight they came to play. They picked pretty much a full strength side, and they gave us a real game. Really stubborn in defence, some big hitters came looking for hits, and you know, we had to really front up. And we were brave early on. We took scrums. We did that with a view that we'd grind them down, take the legs out of their forwards, and hope that some gaps would open up later on. But fair play to them. You know, they're not top 14 champions without good reason. They stuck with us all the way, and you know, it was like you say, pleasing just to get the win in the end. Never mind the 4 tries.
Still a chance for qualification. It looks likely that it might be an Amlin Challenge Cup. That's still to come, but I guess the Saints will approach that as they do any competition. Yeah,
we said before the game that, you know, the maths is out of our hands really. We'll come out here, we'll try and be driven by performance, try and right the wrongs of Leinster home game here, and then give the crowd something to cheer about. You know, I think one for the purists, they'll have hopefully enjoyed some of the set piece and the physicality, perhaps not the running rugby and the tries, but you know, whatever game comes our way, what will be now in that sense. If we're in the Amlin, then we'll apply ourselves exactly the same as we do every other week, and we're in it to win it.
Man of the match performance from yourself, obviously against the French champions. That's about as big a challenge as you're going to get. Did you see this as a real chance to put down a marker headed into the Six Nations, where you'll obviously play France again?
Yeah, well, to some extent. I mean, every game's a big game with Saints colours. You know, we rarely approach a game any differently than full on. But you know, it's good timing to get a good 80 minutes under your belt against the French champions, just prior to a big Six Nations campaign where you know, got to do it all over again. But you know, there was a lot of good players out there tonight, particularly in the forwards. I think man of the match was always going to go to a forward in a game like that. Pretty scrappy, pretty set piece orientated, and yeah, I thought there's some big performances from some of the French lads. To be fair, like Yanni Borman on the back row, carried well, big hitter, and you know, it was a real war of attrition out there, and luckily we just came out on top.
You leave the club behind now, but obviously the back row is an area of real strength for the Saints at the minute. Tell us about the guys that will hopefully step into your shoes and do a good job.
Oh, there's plenty. I mean, you got like Ben Nutley, who's been injured for a long time. Hopefully he's come back to fitness before long. You know, you've seen glimpses of Tamar Harrison in a first team shirt, and he's always impressed. You've got like Sam Dickinson and Phil Dowson that have been on the bench a bit recently, but absolute quality players in their own right, and will really come to the floor. Hopefully Sam gets a bit of exposure with Callum over in the Saxons, and it's a chance for the likes of, if James Craig, I don't know how far away he is from fitness, but Rob Verbackle too. You know, there's plenty of players out there that will, you know, show what strength and depth we've got at the club, and we'll do a good job, no doubt. GJ Van Bouts is another one I missed off, who's, you know, he's a first-team quality player, and it just shows the strength and depth we've got, and the level of competition we've got for places when guys like that are struggling to make the matchday 23.